and he is the new CEO of KILT.
We have the entire roadmap renewed, and which is very much consumer-centric. The first thing, which is the Clans app. Next one is Sporran 2.0. In past, people have complained a lot.
And there's one more thing?
Two more things. Another one is KILT Pay. And I forgot to mention about one thing.
The launch team wishes you good luck and Godspeed.
Space Monkeys, blasting off with Rishant Kumar. You may know him as Rish, and he is the new CEO of KILT. Ready to find out the state of that project, what's going on, and what's coming up in the future. Rish, welcome to Space Monkeys.
Thanks for having me, Jay.
Meeting here in Berlin at the Web
Zero,
Web
Block
Zero?
Spatty.
Block Spatty. You had a good time here?
Yeah, I'm having a good time. It feels like home. Like you go everywhere around and then come back to Block Spatty.
Every time I see you, you got a million things going on. It's crazy. Today, because we had this interview lined up, you're like, you showed me the Aeon thing. Aeon
Pay.
So what is it real quick?
Aeon Pay is, I think, a sister company of Alchemy Pay. We are also working on the payment side. I got in touch with these guys. And then while we were exploring for KILT, it came to my mind, like, why not give it a try for DOT as well?
Yeah.
Because the unique thing over here is, like, you'll be able to pay in the normal stores with the normal QR codes. So when I say normal QR codes, these QR codes are basically either provided by the government payment channels
Yeah.
or something like that.
But where's it used mostly? Like it's big in Philippines?
Southeast Asia, it's rolled out in Vietnam,
Yeah.
all of Vietnam,
Yeah.
Philippines,
Yeah.
now Nigeria.
Yeah.
They are going next for LATAM,
Okay.
and then Europe.
Okay. And so you're at the store, you do a QR code, and
Yes.
it spends DOT.
Exactly. So I think the biggest plus point over here is, like, you scan the normal QR code. The vendor doesn't need to about anything about crypto because you will be paying from your dots, but the vendor will actually receive the money in fiat.
Cool.
So it opens up a lot of utility for the token itself. It was an added advantage to have DOT over there.
Yeah.
It also gives you a big exposure because I think their network is worth 20 million plus merchants.
Amazing. This is just one example of your BD work that you're doing behind the scenes.
For quite some time.
For quite some time, indeed.
Yes.
No, you have your hand in a lot of big things, actually. I was kind of, I was excited, but also a little surprised that you decided to take on the KILT project.
Yeah.
KILT, one of the earliest big stories of Polkadot, we're talking back in 2021.
Yes.
They did, good work onboarding some enterprise clients and whatnot, but yeah, then kind of fizzled out from the public conversation, I guess you could say.
Yeah. In a way, yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes what happens is, like, when you are focused on something, you don't see the other aspects of the things. So over here, we were very much enterprise focused. And at the same point of time, the world was moving very faster towards consumer side.
Yeah.
And we somehow missed to tap on that, but not anymore.
Yeah.
Because we have the entire roadmap renewed, and which is very much consumer-centric now. Regardless, we will continue doing what we have been doing on the enterprise front. We already have, like, two major discussions going on with, like, two major parties. One happens to be one of the biggest tech giant in China, and the other one is another tech giant in India. So
What was the core technology of KILT? What was it originally trying to do?
KILT was basically trying to provide the infrastructure for any consumer, any enterprise, government to have digital identity infrastructure ingrained in their own tech stack.
Yeah.
And that's how it all started. It started as an infrastructure project. As of today, everyone knows that Deloitte has integrated that. They have created a white label solution on top of that, and they are still trying to push it to their own clientele. But that's not enough, in my opinion. Identity, indeed, is a very serious sector. At the same point of time, it's boring because it doesn't go with the vibe of the new wave of crypto users.
Yeah.
You being a crypto project, you have to at some point of time cater to the normal Web3 crowd as well.
Of course.
And the Web3 crowd doesn't understand the nitty-gritty and the seriousness of this vertical itself. how to make it more appealing. And that's where we are trying to revamp the entire protocol right now,
Yeah, beautiful.
keeping the underlying ethos same, but adding a layer of funkness on top of it.
So the enterprises that have already started using KILT's DIDs, who are they right now?
Currently,
yeah.
it's only Deloitte
Okay.
and the clientele of Deloitte to
I see.
whomsoever they are catering to.
Big client.
Yeah,
Yeah.
indeed.
Yeah.
It's a big client.
Yeah.
But at the same point of time, I think it's matter of the mindshare capture
Yeah.
with everything happening in the crypto
Exactly.
world.
Yeah.
You already have mindshare stolen away from the altcoins to memes and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it becomes even more tough for such a serious project to keep up with the trend going on and keep itself relevant in the current market space.
Absolutely.
So I believe this is how when I was sitting and I was kind of thinking like how to make it more appealing, how to reach out to more consumers, the normal day-to-day user. And that's when we came out with the new roadmap, what we have as of now.
When was it that you started thinking about this? Because there's been this transition, right? I mean, previously everybody thought KILT and then they thought of Ingo, right?
Yep.
Ingo was the guy who was originally on the scene, but I guess he's kind of stepped away from the project. I think the foundation or the organization that originally launched it is shutting down.
I can give a rundown on that.
Yeah,
so
sure.
Ingo will always be the founder of KILT.
Yeah.
That fact can't be changed.
Of course.
So we have this KILT Foundation, which was a community approached foundation creation, something similar like how we have Polkadot Community Foundation, PCF, I believe.
Oh, sure. Okay, yeah.
So it's on the similar lines. The KILT Council kind of voted in for me that I should be leading the foundation. Me being one of the earliest investors in KILT and then becoming an employee at KILT and then I was just trying to help it out because I believed in the idea of identity. It's still a huge thing in the space. It's just we don't have the correct mindshare around it. And that's when last year, when we were having all this discussion about the transition and all those things, it started popping up in my head like how? How can I make it more appealing going forward? That's missing? What's the layer which is missing over here? I'm a fighter. I just can't go down with the ship without giving it a try.
Yeah, well, now you're like the captain, eh?
I'm the captain now.
You're the captain now, yeah. Nice.
There are people posting memes in the unofficial group. So
yeah, sick. Okay. So Ingo's really out of the picture now mostly.
Ingo is there as an advisory.
Okay.
Because, of course, he has immense amount of knowledge about the space.
Yeah.
Immense connections. He's also loving the new vibe. I would say, like he keeps saying right now, like I couldn't have thought of the things what you are thinking right now.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's just maybe you need just some fresh blood to come in.
Yeah, these new ideas, these new directions. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but so we have the ID pillar of KILT.
Yes,
but I think there are 3 other pillars now.
Yeah. So how I would say is like the ID will remain the ground layer for all of these things what we are building right now.
Yeah.
Let me go one by one.
Sure.
What we are doing.
Let's hear it. Yeah.
The first thing which is going to come out in the market is the Clans app.
Yeah.
It's already creating a lot of buzz as far as it's concerned, like in terms of the engagement it's concerned.
Yeah.
So it's not seen in public right now, but what's happening in backend, we are quite excited.
Maybe by the time this comes out, it would have just launched or it's about to launch.
Possibly.
Yeah, okay, possibly.
Totally depends on how soon we get the clearance from the app stores.
Ah, I see.
So,
but okay, let's just give people context. Right now, it's like mid-June and you're doing signups.
Yes, we are doing pre-signups right now.
You've been doing it for how many days?
3 days.
And how many pre-signups do you have?
6,000.
6,000.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I wasn't expecting this kind of response, but yeah.
It's amazing. Cool.
Yeah.
So what is Clans?
Yeah, coming to Clans, it's very gamified, as you can see from the characters and whatnot, like Clan McDeegan, Clan McHold.
Drawing on that Scottish lore.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. We wanted to keep on the similar kind of theme. And then Clans makes more sense because it gives you the sense of like the brotherhood, I would say. which clan whether you belong to. And then we have added the layer of something called attention economy. A lot of Web2 companies are actually exploring this.
Sure.
So even though as of today, it's going to be more focused on Web3, but a lot of companies, Web2 companies are asking for this. They want something on attention economy because every company wants to do certain kind of marketing. X is becoming a huge platform going forward with chat integrations, with payments and whatnot.
This is gamified attention. Like think KDO. Loud came in for a hot minute. Things like this, right?
Yes, but the basic difference from KDO or Cookie or Laudio or whatever is out there is like we are mobile only.
Ooh.
And we have a layer of identity on top of it. So basically, I would believe that it will be very tough for a bot to basically come on the platform. Even if it manages somehow to break in, it will be fairly low chances.
What credentials are going to be associated with these IDs in clans?
KILT, DIDs.
Okay.
So the moment you sign up on these app, it will automatically create you a KILT DID. You don't have to break your head to write down the passphrase or any such thing. The first thing which you will do is like you will claim a username which will create a KILT DID and a couple of wallets along with that. Those are embedded wallets. Polkadot wallet, Base wallet, and there will be a couple of more wallets coming in the background. And it's going to be chain agnostic, meaning that any ecosystem, any network will be able to do the campaigns on this particular platform.
So what I want to try to figure out though is why can't a bot just sign up for a DID?
The authentication processes over here.
Okay.
We are going to introduce biometrics.
Ah, I see. Okay. So that's why it's all mobile, because you have all the bios right in there.
Exactly.
Cool.
And the reach. The mobile has much more reach than sitting on a laptop. Whether you're traveling, whether you are going anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Because I have seen a couple of people asking why you need certain kind of permissions.
Yeah.
Like post, repost. It's totally because you will be able to post the content directly from the app. You don't even have to go to X.
I see.
But unless you don't post it, the app won't be posting on your behalf.
Right.
Think of like Hootsuite or the other platforms.
Yeah, totally.
You have to give the permissions to them to schedule your tweets. It's something like that. But then again, unless you are not interacting with it, the app, we are not utilizing those accesses.
Yeah, so the other engagement platforms that we mentioned, like KDO, for instance, they're really they're scraping Twitter for data to give people points. But you're actually creating like another layer that people interact through, which kind of has this extra feature of being a little bit bot resistant because of the biometrics and things like this.
Exactly.
So cool.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love it.
So that's the idea right now. And of course, like, don't miss out on ROAR points.
This is, before we get into your other verticals, this is kind of very relatable with a lot of Polkadot right now, where the focus was building infrastructure and the idea was then people will build on top of it. But the most successful projects are just building their own products. And this is just an example of one product you can build with DIDs on top of KILT, but really is going to have utility not only for Web3, but as you're saying, just anybody. I mean,
anybody.
Media stars can have their fans getting points for posting about them.
Exactly.
You know, this kind of stuff, right?
Think of Samsung launching a phone, and they just want to do a marketing campaign.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as you are famous, of course, you need to have that kind of traction. The platform itself need to have that kind of traction. But what I'm trying to say is like any brand will be able to do the things. And it's not limited to just Web3.
It's cool.
It could be anyone.
So that's launching whenever the App Store is approved.
Couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Couple
End
of
of
weeks.
June, beginning of July, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. Like
if the Apple gods approve.
The app build is 98 to 99% completed. So that's not which is going to stop us. I think the entire time is going to take from the app stores how fast they actually approve us.
Which is unpredictable.
Yeah,
very good.
Yeah.
Clans is exciting. Clans is sick. What else do we have?
Next one is Sporran 2.0. In past, people have complained a lot that Sporran being an identity wallet and not being that user friendly. To be honest,
Just to catch people up, there was this separate web extension,
yes,
desktop only.
yes,
Yeah, it was a drag to install. It was a little bit difficult to navigate and
Yes.
rarely used.
yes.
Just kind of
It's
sitting there, yeah.
going through a complete overhaul.
Okay, what's new?
You'll be able to generate again the same thing.
Mhm.
Your W3Ns, your DIDs
Yep.
through mobile. There will be biometric attestations and whatnot, passkeys, face ID, thumb imprint, and all those things are getting integrated in one particular platform. And within this Sporran, you will have mini apps. If I have to relate to it to any other app, if you would have seen World App, I'm not sure.
No, I haven't.
So they have something similar approach, but they have their iris scan and things like that.
Oh.
But we are making use of the other aspect,
Yeah.
more control towards the user and not making them more feared about their own personal data being stored somewhere.
Right.
So we are taking the route of single sign-on, which happens in Web2 world.
Mm-hmm.
You log in one time and then you get logged in for all the other apps. You don't have to keep
I
on
see. Yeah,
logging
yeah,
for
yeah.
each and everything. So
Yeah.
the one instance of the login basically hooks you up with all the other apps. What we are trying to do over here is we are trying to bring these mini apps inside Sporran,
Mm-hmm.
which can directly interact with your identities, with your tokens. The entire wallet infrastructure is going to be inside that itself, where you can buy your tokens, sell your tokens. And this will start with KILT, but I don't know whether it will expand to other horizons or not. But for now, that is the idea.
And maybe this is worth clarifying. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is another mobile app.
This is another mobile
So we're
app.
going off the desktop extension,
Yes,
and this is basically a Web3 wallet with
a Web3
ID built
wallet
in
with the ID built
on
in
the phone. Yeah,
Yes,
cool.
you will be able to send and receive your funds through W3N name. As of today, I think only Nova is there who has included W3N integration.
Yeah.
But we want to
Not
take
widely
it.
used though, I don't
Not
think.
widely used though. Probably the W3N never got picked up. But the idea is basically to give a boost to the username culture without making the user go through a lot of other processes.
Mm-hmm.
Just a simple thing: pick up your name, your J, pick your name, and just
Are we going to
hooked in.
ditch the colon W3N business as well?
You don't have to enter it.
Okay.
You will be just entering your name.
I always thought that was a little ugly.
Yeah. So how it will happen is like it will be grayed out section.
Yeah.
By default, it will be added as a
So I can
prefix.
just send a Rish.
Yes.
you can just
You
send a
will
J.
just enter Rish.
Yeah.
And then the system will pick up.
Cool.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Amazing. And there's one more thing?
Two more things.
Okay, go.
Another one is KILT Pay. A
Oh,
payment app,
different than the wallet.
different than a wallet.
Why is it different than the wallet?
Because we are trying to integrate the cards, MasterCard, Visa card, and trying to bring the multiple payment integrators under one umbrella. Like imagine having MoonPay, Alchemy Pay, and all of these kind of players, Binance Pay,
Yeah.
under one umbrella with identity slapped to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll be able to keep switching between all of you. Could have your funds on MoonPay, you could have your funds on Binance Pay, but then you'd always have to keep flipping between these platforms. But if at all there was one app who has the capability to basically keep moving these funds
Integrating all these payment pipelines
Exactly.
into one place with the ID.
with the ID
Yeah.
on top of it.
Cool. Okay.
So that's the idea. We have started working on it, and that's how Aeon Pay thingy happened. Right
I
now.
see. Yeah, because you were trying to work with them for this.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
try to convince me here. Why can't this be part of the Sporran wallet? Why does it need to be another app?
Maybe
Maybe. Yeah.
maybe later, because actually KILT Pay will be hosted as a mini app inside Sporran.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
It will be a mini app inside Sporran, but then if someone wants to just have a standalone instance of it,
They can just have that
they can just have that.
because they might not be interested in the mini apps.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool.
Of course, like all of the apps created around KILT will be hosted inside Sporran.
Gotcha.
And this
even clans.
even clans.
Yeah.
And this also includes anyone tomorrow
Mm-hmm.
as a builder who's building any apps, and as long as it's not a scam and shit,
Yeah.
they can get their apps hosted inside Sporran.
Oh, so
So
Sporran
it's-
really is like the meta app,
Exactly.
the app to
It's-
host all apps,
I call it super app.
the super app. But I guess, yeah, you know what? It does make sense that you might have a user base that's associated with some product, a Web2 product or anything,
Exactly.
and they only want the clans part.
Yep.
They don't want the pay part and all that stuff. They
Exactly.
don't even want to expose their users to all that. Right?
Exactly.
Interesting
So-
strategy. Okay.
It basically will behave like a multiplier,
Yeah.
because someone who is launching an app needs a distribution. And if all of these apps keep coming at one central place, they are basically creating distribution for everyone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So the idea behind is basically to give the boost to the builders who will be actually building on top of KILT, but then they need the user base.
This is a common theme between all of the things you've described so far.
Exactly.
Is you kind of have this infrastructure that is available in different apps in different contexts. Basically.
Exactly.
Right. It's an interesting strategy because if one fails, you're attacking a lot at once. So
Yep,
one
yep.
could.
I mean, it's an ambitious roadmap, I would say.
But regardless, even if like a standalone app fails to get adoption, everything in that app could still be used by maybe the clans app that takes off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not wishing failure, but I'm just kind of, the way it works.
Yeah,
you know?
I know
It's
that.
an
I know
interesting
that. I know that.
strategy, yeah.
You can't expect everything to go on a similar trend line.
Right.
Some will have a different trajectory. Some could have literally have a blasting trajectory, like
Yeah.
to the moon kind of thing.
Sure.
But end of the day, each and every app will actually end up helping other ones, because people will come to this particular app to explore what else is there over here. And they might find out, okay, now you have clans, you have KILT Pay,
Yeah.
you have DIDsign 2.0,
Mm-hmm.
which is our next product.
Go for it. DIDsign 2.0.
DIDsign 2.0. So
What's DIDsign 1.0?
1.0 is a platform where you can basically sign anything, software, documents, music files,
Ah, okay.
just to prove that you are the owner, or like in a way how DocuSign works. You prepare the document, and
Yeah.
you want your client to sign on it.
Authentication of any file.
Any file.
Cool.
I would say the bill what we have today, it can't be practically used by a company in their day-to-day life.
Yeah.
It needs to have the similar kind of look and feel, similar kind of experience what DocuSign provides, or Adobe Sign provides, or now you have Google Sign and all those things.
I got to be honest. I love DocuSign. Like, I don't even know my password, but I sign all the time.
You're gonna love DIDsign,
Yeah. Yeah.
because it's gonna have the similar kind of approach
Cool.
where you will be able to download your documents with your own signature, not an XML file, which as of today, if you go to DIDsign, you will actually download an XML file which gets generated when you sign the document, or the file, or the digital file which you sign, whatever it could be. But with 2.0, it will have the similar flow, how DocuSign works, and you will be able to see your own signatures and stuff. The document actually signed, which you can download in your mobile and can send to anyone for the further processing, whatever.
Good stuff. Now, when we were at Scitel Lugano together, you fired up Figma and showed me all these beautiful apps.
Yep.
I was very impressed. As you said, it's very ambitious.
Yes.
You're clearly not building these apps by yourself.
Yep.
So who's the team behind all this? How have you made this happen in such a short time?
Because I come from a dev background, I've had like a huge network from my past life. And I have kind of tapped into, like, I handpicked a couple of people back in India. And that's where this team is sitting and pushing the products.
Yeah.
Super crazy team, I would say, because they have a lot on their plate.
Yes,
and
clearly.
a lot. Trust me, like I have to attend like straight away like 5 calls for 5 different products with 5 different teams. it's kind of a very insane thing what we are doing. Whether or not we will be successful, that's another story. But I have high hopes in terms of the products which we will bring out will be very user-friendly, very consumer-centric, but with a touch of identity play in each of them.
Yeah.
And I forgot to mention about one thing is like
Oh my.
EVM SDK. So we are enhancing the current KILT SDK to be compatible with EVM, because that's what will bring in the new wave of builders.
Sure. Yeah.
Because we are expanding on base.
Yes. And the
It
mini app
makes-
thing.
Yes.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
makes total sense to have a EVM-compatible SDK,
Mm-hmm.
which just unlocks the builder presence in the ecosystem, in the KILT ecosystem.
All of the DID stuff is it happens on the Polkadot rollup,
Yep.
but it's kind of extended to other networks.
Yes.
The token you
Yes.
move to base, or in the process of moving to base,
Yes.
from the rollup, this is just about accessibility.
It's for accessibility.
Yeah,
Right now.
but the token still
Like-
works
like-
on the rollup, right?
You can't have identity stuck at one place.
No.
If you're talking about universal identity,
Yeah,
then it has to be present in most of the chains.
yeah, of course.
And it's a matter of how would you connect. That's the biggest challenge
Hmm.
for us.
Hmm.
Like, how would you connect an ID created on base, but then it should be able to interact with the Polkadot as well.
Yeah.
So that's what we are targeting for.
Have you
over
solved
here.
this?
It's an ongoing thing right now. I believe we should be able to solve it.
Yeah.
But that's what we are aiming for. I think it will become easy the moment Polkadot VM and Polkadot Hub launches,
Cool.
because it will be in line with the EVM world
Yeah.
and make our job little easy.
Wow. Rish, this was a very nice overview of an exciting rebirth of a project that had a lot of momentum.
It had a lot of momentum. I
Yeah,
would say.
and waking it from its slumber with this amount of energy, this adrenaline boost. This,
I think this is what is keeping me awake.
Yeah.
From past couple of months. And
no, I can feel the energy, man. It feels
Yeah.
alive. Yeah.
I'm excited to be
Yeah.
honest, because it's always feels good to when you see your ideas taking birth
Yeah.
and actually getting transformed into real world applications.
Yeah.
And let's see what happens.
Thanks for picking up the pieces and putting something awesome together. And we'll stay tuned.
sure.
Get the apps on the phone as soon as
For
the
sure.
App Store approves.
For sure.
And thanks for coming on the show to talk to us about it today.
Thanks for this, Jay. Thanks for having me here.